Greetings, royal subjects. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Odyssey, the Pilgrim ship. Episode 3, Our Beloved Leader, Properly Knighted. Alright, Liara just claimed eminent domain, meaning this is her research room now. She just kicked everyone else out, the slaves out. I am shuttering the base. It's going to be broken down now. So we don't really have a good dining area here. It wasn't designed for comfort, if you will. I will put the stools and chests up here near the bow, near the helm. And then, in order to have a not ugly ship, we're likely going to need to consider shelving and the like, which will be coming in soon. We'll do one more marble block, because I just don't want the chunk sitting there. There we go. Alright, these shelves obviously got wrong settings due to the link, the lack of the link, I should say. And these beds are now for the slaves. So the slaves are going to be in the, like, general hall area, rather than in individual bedrooms. They got bounced out of their bedrooms. Also, not sure why you took off your lady's cap, but let's put that back on. At this point, we have a... Oh. Hunt for Bucky. Ooh, a shield generator. I don't mind killing fugitives for sale. But let's go ahead and get the night ceremony going. So, current priority is do a night ceremony. So we need the braziers on, and then the other thing that we need for that is the electric smithy. And once we have the electric smithy, to get a harp going. We don't, like I said, we don't really have anyone that is like decent at crafting. But that doesn't necessarily mean we can't, like, make a basic harp to fulfill the requirements. You know, I realize we still have that steel sight, so I don't really need to destroy ruins. And it seems like we still have need of a little bit more marble blocks for the shelving, but things are getting tidied up for sure. So Aram, you're going to go over to the steel site for the mines. And also break this stuff down because this stuff is money too. In fact, let's uninstall the lights because I'm sure I'll end up subsequently using them for other things. So if we want steel, let's cancel all of the mine designations and then only mine out the steel because the steel is the most important at the moment because we still have some lights left to build for Liara and the like. So like this light, for instance, can just be this light repurposed. Heat wave's over. Nice. It's no longer super hot out. But Ink and Aram can keep the shade counts. Oh! Aram and Liara both got sick. That's not good. Bed rest. Bed rest. That's gonna really slow down our progress for sure. Breakfire has the ability to doctor. For Liara, I'm gonna use the Glitter World. And for Aram, the herbal. 110, and knowing that we're sick, I'm gonna queue Wild Root all over the map to be harvested, so that's Ink's responsibility in the morning. So his flu tending was only 29%. I'll have to keep an eye on that. I think his next tending, what we could do is do industrial meds or have Liara do it, so that, you know, he has a better chance of surviving. The other thing that I could do is have Breakfire relinquish his rank and change to the Chamberlain, because the Chamberlain will have a breach health too, but I'm not too worried about that. I think Aram will be fine. A wild woman named Snake. Pessimistic cannibal? Alright, well, no thanks. Don't care. Right, what do you need? You need food. So, feed. And let's raise the doctoring or break fire up to 1. Making sure that she's getting the care she needs. Oh, we got a muffalo for free. That works. Okay. Ink is... Let's no longer resow the rice. This is definitely the last rice we're going to bother with. Move the battery. And then we just need to, like, break down the remaining metal stuff here. And we'll be able to pull up stakes and leave this joint. So using industrial meds so we can get back on his feet sooner. And then, Liara, you should go bed rest. So I'm going to make that hospital bed so I can force you. $119%. Pretty nice. And he is already in the clear. Immunity's higher than flu, so as long as the 10 qualities don't dip hard, should be fine. One thing I didn't grab was the horseshoe pin. Here, I guess. And now we just have a lot of hauling to do. So the extra 700 rice, kind of nice. I don't intend to carry these weapons with me. I'm just going to leave them behind. I don't even really need the shack, the wooden shack. It's not enough wood to even warrant, like, breaking it down. Bossonites are coming by again. It's not the first time. So she's already a 3rd immune, and he is almost a 3rd. She has a bit of a break risk, which I'll keep an eye on. I think what I'll do is have her recreate, if she wants. So Liara, just to avoid the mental break in the morning if you want to recreate. Because you're not going to have a mental break. Well, okay, you're sleeping now, never mind. People don't have mental breaks while they sleep, but as soon as they get up, they can. And a transport crash of Palaiologos, who is of the Royal Empire, which wouldn't be a terrible favor for us to have to call upon. So let's tend Liara first, and then go to Palaiologos, or whatever his name is. And we'll aim to rescue. Don't know why you're falling from the sky. I really like your stats, but we're not about to betray the Empire, or at least not yet. I think it's funny to me that Snake is eating raw eggs. Chicken eggs. No, that's not your... Okay, let's fix this. Bossonites drop meds. Alright. Oh, that's not... Okay. That's not where I meant to put him, but okay. It is a double bed, so it... Yeah. Makes sense. And now she's being talked to. She's basically being cheered up so that she doesn't have a mental break. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Alright, Ink is trying to fetch all of the heal root that we can so that we can stretch our meds out. But that gift was really, really nice. The other thing we're going to need to do is install the butchery table somewhere at some point. And then I think we probably have enough heel root cut, I'd imagine, at least for now. So I'll tell Ink to start going for like marble blocks for the braziers, so we can actually do that like night ceremony. It's taking a minute. So 48%, 53%. And that was like max 10 quality right there, so it should be a pretty quick recovery at this point. So, is there a disadvantage to stone walls and doors in your ship? Stone doors open slowly, stone walls aren't airtight. All doors are airtight, but only ship walls, the grav hulls, are airtight. So you can make these grav hulls out of plasteel, anything metallic, gold, silver, plasteel, uranium, or steel. But if you want airtightness, it can't be traditional walls. So if you take a look at the walls here, some of the steel walls, as you can see, the metallic ones are airtight, but the stone ones are not. There's virtually no reason to do traditional steel walls over the regular ones. It is a difference cost of 5 versus 7, but for that 2 extra steel per tile, it's not flammable. So I'm happy to pay the higher price for, you know, the drop of flammability. Because having a giant flammable ship would be pretty terrible. Yeah, stone's not airtight, and I'm sure it's like balancing reasons. So you can't just build like a giant stone ship, you know, without having to do it the effortful metal mining. Anon, thank you for the resub. So, how close are you? 70%? It's getting there. That might be the last tending. We'll see. And we do have a work drive that we can offer up Aram. So as soon as he's recovered from the flu, I'll work drive him and aim to get all the remaining necessary metals that are on the map tile. The plasteel, the gold, the uranium, etc. Make some plasteel or uranium mini turrets, depending on how much plasteel I end up with. It looks like there's a lot of plasteel there. And clear the ancient danger, knowing that we'll have like plasteel to back us up. Alright, that at this point is probably enough marble. What I'll do is I'll deliver to all the shelves. Yep, that's enough marble. Okay, so we have everything we need for the throne room. She's out of bed, but she's like 81 over 45, so it's really not much of a concern. Ink is now collecting all the heal root, which maybe we put under one shelf, because I see what she's doing here, and it's not merged, and it's stupid. But I can always, like, right-click manual merge if I need to. I hate that they do that. It's like, come on, just make one stack. And we'll get the butchery going. because we're out of fine meals. In fact, do it now, because I'm sure Liara wants to eat a nice fine meal. So she could be tended. I think I'm going to drop the quality down to industrial meds. It's unnecessary. She's going to recover either way. But she'll be out of bed in just a minute. And maybe once she's out of bed, she'll celebrate with a... She'll go murder a snake. That sounds on brand, I think. Yep, there she is. 99% and done. So we're just waiting on Aram, but he's high enough that, like, no more bed rest. Because we have a night ceremony to do, and we're not going to wait for you. Likewise, now that he's finally out of bed, granted he's vomiting in the throne room, we'll hit him with a work drive and get him to mine up the steel that we want, and then after he gets the steel, then all the precious metals and components. Because I don't think have any components at the moment. Oh, I did not mean to put those, to light those. So if you're wondering, the night ceremony cannot be accepted because I don't think it's actually the throne. It's the harp, yeah. So in order to get a harp, we need more steel to be able to build the smithy to make the harp. Actually, you can make a harp technically on just a crafting spot. So let's just do that instead. Eventually, I'm going to want a smithy for other reasons, but we'll just keep it really cheap for the harp. And the harpist, she has no bed yet. Yeah, let's fix that. You out. For the harp, we'll have Aram do it because I think he's the best crafter, although not by much. How do they handle research? On a bench? Oh, Tazbar Confederacy. Who do we got here? We have got some people that are going to die real easy. Okay, Breakfire, Marksman Command. Liara, you are on the prowl. With him. As far as home zones go, forget that. It's not our home anymore. They'll have to leave. Oh, he's just dead. Next. You are attacking my torch. Where'd the other one go? There's more of you than just the one person, right? I thought there was 3 people west. Oh, you're down here. Okay, you were attacking the empty village. Oh, no. Alright, so you only have melee weapons. That's a joke. Here, break fire, hold your fire. Oh, never mind. Watch to death, and then there's Crocodile, who has a recurve bow. So recurve bows have a little bit more range. Let's go for Black, who's got the melee weapon. That'll be a little bit safer. There may be an opportunity for recruits here. We'll see. And they're free. I don't think she actually got any of those kills, but that's Breakfire's the guard. That's what he's for. Bye-bye, Tazbar. And they're torching this area, but I don't really care. Actually, you know what? I take that back. This biome never has rain for fires, so we're going to want to put the fire out manually. Oh, but maybe don't step in there. Okay. No problem. Got a little burn on your hand talon. Okay. Well, technically it's it's not a hand talon, but still. So we're waiting on the wooden harp, and then we're good to go. Yeah, burn's gonna go away on its own. So once we have the night ceremony underway, we'll have the ability to do like psycasting, which is going to be really, really handy. Yara will be much more powerful, and that's what she's after. Will the butcher table be fine outside? Yeah, it'll be fine. And if it gets destroyed, whatever. It's a cheap thing to build. It's not expensive, right? So, like, who cares? As far as the cost goes, it's not much of a loss. Same with the stone cutter. You don't want to lose things made of like components necessarily, but like made of steel and wood. Who cares? The world's full of steel and wood. Not a problem. So I don't think I need to get all this steel exactly. It's probably more than we really need. I'd rather get a move on, because the quest that we have here is going to expire in about 3 days. So I want to strip this map tile of the nice stuff first, or next I should say, before doing that. So let's go ahead and put you on construction, finish the construction projects that we have queued up, which is the shelves and the wooden harp, which is smithing. And then we'll go for the high priority mining. Updating the home zone. And I know I only have one thruster, so if there's time, I'll try to get steel for the other thrusters, because I know there's a bit of a benefit to that, but one of those situations where, like, there may or may not be time. We'll see. She's still on a recreate schedule? She is. And she'll probably stay on that schedule, to be honest. I don't really see a good reason to take her off of it right now. So our tanks have a little bit more chem fuel capacity. Actually, a bit of chem fuel capacity. So we'll continue hunting for meat and filling up the supplies. So it's a poor harp. I mean, I sort of figured it was going to suck. But that is going to allow for the night ceremony in the morning. Finally. Flu really set us back a bit, though. As far as needs go, once your needs are fully met up to a certain threshold, you don't spend any more time on it. So there's not really a reason... if you are on pure recreation 24/7, 365, it does not mean that's all you do. It means you fill it up, and then once you're full, you do other things, which is why you'll see her researching right now. Because her recreation meter's met, so she does other things. That's how RimWorld works. Cheers. Alright, once Breakfire comes back from his hunt, or actually once Aram finishes the component mining down here, I will do the night ceremony. This is kind of on the wrong side of the map tile. Watch out, bullets! Nice, mining 10. That's the components from the southwest. Breakfire, you hang out over here. Because I don't want you on the wrong side of the map tile. Before we do it, let's go ahead and... Actually, let's call it in now. But I'm going to want to pull the meat in before it's eaten by vultures. Yo, meat doesn't belong there. So the other thing I need to do is to link these shelves out here, because there's like absolutely wrong things on them. So no meals except for packaged meals, no raw food ever. And then we'll allow pemmican there and chocolate hay and kibble there. Raw resources, we'll do plant matter minus dye. And then heal root. Or herbal. Yep. And then silocaps. And ambrosia. And then in the outer shelves, no ambrosia, no silocaps. And no herbal. I think that... Oh, and wort, too. Silocaps is a new resource you get from the glow forests. It's a drug. God, they took a while. They landed down there? Okay. They think my colony's down there. I was like, where is this royal procession? Moseying on over. Alright, here we go! Bestowing. Liara's Night Ceremony. So now the current priority is prepare to leave. And I'm going to be departing for the Bucky hunt. To get a ship generator? Shield generator? Sounds awesome. Also, for the biofuel refinery, let's stop using meat because we have a lot more veg than meat. So, it was honorable. I gained extra honor. I gained the knight title. We refuse to do dumb labor now as a result of the knight. We have permit choices. So here we go. Liara, you are going to take a trooper squad and an arrow drone strike. Your psycasts are Solar Pinhole, Blinding Pulse, and Chaos Skip. Your meditation for now is going to be Noble or Royal, and given your psycasting, I'm not going to worry too much about Psy-Focus because those aren't very powerful. At this point, we need to keep the braziers refueled at all times because that's part of having a throne room now. And her expectations are a lot higher, so at some point she's going to be bumped up to, like, lavish meals. So, prepare to depart. Let's get all engines up, if we can. I might need to get a little bit more of the steel mined up for that. And then, when there is almost no time left on hunting Bucky, I'll accept that as well. Kitchen's open? Yeah, the geniuses are putting food in the wrong spots. So if this is important, these are important, then I'll allow meals that aren't packaged from meals on the other shelves. That way they're not propped door open. Another thing we're going to want is heaters. So I'll put put heater in the throne room and the bedroom, and through vents it will perpetuate out to the rest of the ship. Radiate. I am going to cancel all mining, and I haven't forgotten about the danger 2. I do ideally want to do that before I depart as well, because you never know what you get in there. Might be like an architect part or like a pulsar. I mean, who knows, right? You got to do it to know. I don't have research queued up. Obviously, I'm eventually going to want like a proper research lab, but for now, let's go with auto doors. I wouldn't mind having much faster doors in and out of the ship. Won't braziers heat the room? Yes, but it is a requirement of having a throne room. So, won't it heat the room? Yeah. But can I turn it off? No. Do you really want to piss off our leader? Do you want to be keel-hauled on a spaceship? Because she will keel-haul you on a spaceship. Gotta realize, she's the boss. So just about all the steel has been acquired for the last thruster. Perfect. And then we just want to amass biofuel. And we'll be out. You mean for the heater replacement? Well, so the heater, if it's set to a lower threshold, I'll put it this way. You definitely want heaters on a grav ship no matter what. Because once you go to space, space is very cold. So if you don't have heaters for your spaceship, you're going to freeze to death pretty quickly. So the braziers themselves aren't going to produce enough heat to keep that from happening, which is why heaters are necessary. Now I'm going to set the heaters so that the air conditioners, let's say, are trying to cool to 74, and the heaters will heat up to like 66 or something, so that anywhere between 66 and 74 is fine. Is basically an acceptable threshold for temperatures. Alright, that's actually, no, we're just about out of steel still. Can you subsidize anything for those braziers? No, that's not how royalty works. If you take a look at Royal, throne room require braziers at every level. No matter what level you are, once you're a knight, you need braziers. There is no substitute allowed. Okay, we are going to want to accept this quest, but I'm going to wait like the max amount of time because there's still a lot of resources left to be mined here. And I would also like to get the plasteel turrets sooner than later. So here's the deal. I want to add, because we still have a few more grav panels. We have 18 more grav panels. I want to add some turrets to the ship. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put... Actually going to raise that up like there. I'm going to change my mind about how I'm going to do it. Let's add turret here, 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 and here. Just 4. And what I'll do is I'll reinforce the ship hulls in the sections that they're being improved. Alright, so these heaters are going to heat to 66. And I suspect the heaters and the coolers are mostly going to be idle most of the time. Like right now, these are low power and these are low power because it's within the 66 to 74 threshold. Deserter, not helping. Okay. Accept. So, the hunt is in space. Interesting. I was not expecting that. So if the hunt for her is in space, I am going to need a multi-analyzer. Or at the very least, I'm going to need a high-tech research bench to get orbital tech. Which changes the layout of the ship. Which is fine. We'll just have to prepare for that accordingly. So in terms of security, what I'd like to do is run power conduits like this and this out to where the turrets are, and then have dead power in the corners here so they can turn the turrets on and off at a whim. So the current priority is build turrets and expand research. Also, if you have questions about getting the ship ready for space, you are way ahead of where you should be. I'm not going to be talking about that or working toward that until it becomes relevant. Basically, spoilers I am ignoring. So if it's not something I'm currently working on, it's a spoiler. We'll get there when we get there, but asking if we're there yet, the answer is going to be no. Alright, at this point, we are low on veg, so I'm going to hold off on more chem fuel via veg. Our chem fuel tanks are full, though. So we do want a little bit more biofuel, but probably only with meat. So now all the chem fuel that we are... Actually, we have a whole bunch of it, I just realized, in the shelves. So let's just pause that entirely. I don't really know why they haven't actually refueled the generator. There we go. So auto doors are done. And here's the plan. The plan is to turn this here into the lab, because we need it. So what I need to do is I need to create space for a 5, and I'll do it symmetrically. Using up a little, like, the 12 of our remaining 14 grav panels. And I think I'm gonna have RM go back to steel mining because we need steel for that as well. Alright, before that, or while that is being researched, let's go ahead and get prosthetics, so at least Lara is, like, researching something and is not idle. And I'd like to depart soon, because I know that I don't have, like, a lot of rice left. So the other thing I'm going to do is make the simple meals purely out of meat and not veg, because it's going to be a lot easier to source. Alright. The turrets here, we also will need to mine up the components for, I realize. And then I think I'm going to change the location of where these benches are kept for, like, walkability. So we'll remove the foundations here and move them so it doesn't block the doorways. Alright, ink. You want to get some berries? If you're, like, sitting around, you might as well get some berries. And RM, I'm going to make you mine over construct so we just get a nice stockpile of steel. Oop, that's not correct. There we go. Looks much better. Oh, we had a thunderstorm. So, here is one of the dangers of this map tile, is, like, the plains here don't have a natural, like, it's gonna rain when it gets set on fire trigger, which means the fires run rampant. Am I still going to break down the max resources? No, I would lose resources on the machining table than the mechs would yield. So, eventually I'm going to have a machining table, but not right now. Again, working on the priority is my priority. If it ain't helping that, it waits. Alright. I might lose physical access to the steel site in a minute here, just because of the giant fires. So let's try to haul the steel in before this fire spreads too far. Why am I getting fire? Oh, yeah, it's an old home zone. I don't care about that fire. No, don't beat the fire out. I don't care. So the changes to the ship are nearly done. I think we have the resources for it. So all we're really hoping to do is to get the precious resources like the plastiles and uranium out of the map tile before we depart. That's ultimately the goal right now. So build turrets and expand research and mine good stuff. There we go. We're starting to get the turrets up. Okay, the berry harvest designations are done. Good. And now we have space for a high-tech research bench. I hope I have the steel, but it will go in there. I think I'm missing the steel, but there is steel over here. But if this steel is being counted towards it, then I am lacking the steel. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Odyssey Pilgrim Ship, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow pilgrims.